Hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name remains Tinna Kash, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for always liking, sharing. I see all the likes, I see the shares, I see the subscription, right? Thank you so much. If you're a new subscriber, my name still remains Tinna Kash here. And on this channel, one of the things I do is try to encourage people to do any of the Canada visas yourself. So try to encourage and do it yourself process by illustrating step-by-step process to guide you on how to do that yourself. So if you have looked at my previous video, you would have seen on visiting visas, on super visa, on PR, even post ITA, on different work permits, study permits, you will see those videos right there. And for today, today I'm going to be illustrating step-by-step guide on how to put in for your citizenship application. Yeah. So a lot of people I know, even myself included, and from 2025-2026 seems to be when they are eligible for citizenship, and I've been getting a lot of requests asking Tina, please put in something for citizenship application, because a lot have been asking, and I just thought, okay, I think it's right about time for me to do something so that rather than supporting individually, this would be like a one-stop shop for them. Like, just go in, see the process. If you have any clarifying question, you can ask. I think my turnaround time is good, right? Yes. So without wasting so much of our time, please, we are going to dive into illustration of your citizenship application, which can be done as a single applicant. You can do that with your children. You can do that with your spouse. There are just few steps to that, but every process is the same. Yeah, I forgot. Please do not forget to like, to share, to subscribe, share this information, tell the untold, tell everyone to follow this channel. If you find my content valuable, I will really appreciate if you share this content to your loved ones, your friends, your circle, and that would be great. Okay, let's get started. Without wasting any much time, there are a lot of methods for you to get into the citizenship portal. So I'm just going to be showing you either of the ways that you can explore, right? So one of the ways is to go through Canada sites, canada.ca. Yeah, this came, and we're going to go with the English. You can do French if you parle. Other than that, you pick English. And once you click on English, it will bring you to this landing page. You're going to go to immigration and citizenship, and there are a lot of things you can do on the site of Canada. You can get your passport, you can do a lot of things by just coming through the canada.ca. So we're going this way. Please, I always say this, do well to take your time to read all this information, right? I've done this multiple times, so my process is usually a bit faster, and this is because I don't want my video to be so lengthy, so that's why I make it a bit fast. I'm just going to scroll down and come to where it says citizenship. Then you click on Canadian citizenship. It will redirect you here. You can sign into your GCK, so that will take you to your PR page. So, but for citizenship application, you can say apply for citizenship as an adult, right, or a minor. Then I'm going to click here, and it will tell you who can apply, how to apply, and after you apply. If you want to get information about after you apply or eligibility requirement, you're going to get this information and how to apply. So this will redirect us to the link of citizenship, right? Another thing you can take note of is this, the processing time, right? The processing time is now 13 months. Yeah, that's a working long period. And the fee involved $649.75 for adults, and for each minor, they pay $100. All right, so I'm going to also demonstrate how to go about making your payments, because this is special. It's not like your PR application or other application where you can just see your payments. This one is a special application. Okay, so let's click on how to apply. As soon as you click on how to apply, this is going to direct us to this page. You can see you can do online application on paper. So feel free to read the requirements for all this. But for the sake of this demonstration, we are going to be going to online, which is recommended. All right, and we can just click on apply. Right, and as soon as you click on apply, please do well to read, then create an account. If you already have an account, please do well to sign into your account. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be creating an account so you can see how we can go about creating an account. Alternatively, let me open a new tab. It's just to type in CIT apply. It will bring you directly to the portal. Right? See, we are here because I know the address. So, but for the sake of the first demonstration, if you don't know the address, just go through Canada.ca and go through those steps. But to shorten the process, you can just come straight. It should bring you here directly. All right. And so I'm just going to go to continue to create an account. Start your Canadian citizenship application. So this is what you're going to see. To create an account, I'm just going to put in the email I want to use. Please ensure that the email you're using is valid, right? You know, Canada government will communicate with you through those emails, so have access to those emails. And for the sake of this video, you know I always use my demo Tinna Kash email, so that's what I'm going to be using. And I also do not submit applications, so because they're not real application, they're just for demonstration. Then my password, and I'm just going to do create. I'm just going to save that for future reference. So this has sent me a code. I'm just going to pick the code. I'm confirming the code. I need to save this as well. Okay, then I'm going to just sign in because I've already saved that. And yep, this is it. This is it. Okay, so some of the things you need to see from here, as soon as you create an account, it will tell you submit all your application by February 25, 2026, because I have 60 days to put in my application and submit it. I can create an account right now. Whilst it looks so easy, it has some sort of trick on which is not complex, right? As soon as you get your hang of that, that's all. And you can check your actions here. If you have more, you want to contact help, contact us, you want to sign out, this is where you're going to click on. Without wasting further time, I'm just going to click on create an application. And I'll click on this. So as soon as I click on this, this is going to ask me different kind of questions. It's going to ask me questions, just trying to validate the kind of application I want to create. For instance, so it's an adult application. So am I an adult? Yes. I'm creating for myself as an adult. So I'm just going to click here as an adult because I'm an adult 18 years and above. Say select this application if you are a permanent resident, you have lived in Canada for at least 3 years, which is 1,095 days out of the last 5 years. Yeah. And should you want to read the requirements, just click on this. You can see this arrow shows that if you click on it, it's going to just open a new tab for you, so, which is good. So it's not like it's taking you off this. Now, should you want to apply for minor, there are two types of minor application. For those that maybe the parents are already citizen, and you want to apply for your child, your minor. That's on the one hand. On the second hand, for those that their parent is applying alongside themselves. Right, so for minor, you're going to click on either of it. So for application, it has to just be one. So unlike your peer application where you can just see your minor application, for this, you need to actually have to add that of your minor. And for your spouse, your husband, your wife, you need to invite them. So that's just the only trick. Other than that, the whole process is, let's say, straightforward. If I'm applying for citizenship and I'm eligible at the same time as my minor, I can just click on this. You can see it automatically uncheck this because you can only do one per time. And for this, minor does not have a Canadian parent or a parent who is applying for citizenship at the same time. So you don't have any parents that is applying at the same time as you. So I'm just going to click here that I'm creating for an adult. What is the adult name? That's my family name. My given name, my year of birth, let me use 1990. For the sake of this video, I will use January 1. So you can see, as soon as I input my details, I'm just going to click on create application, right? So you can see it has my name. So this is how your application is going to look like. Now, if I want to create for my children, for instance, I'm just going to click on create. Once I click on create, it grayed out an adult because I already own this application portal. It grayed me out. The next is for me to create for a minor. I'm just going to say this is my minor, my child. And once I click on minor, because I'm applying at the same time with my minor, so this is what I'm going to click on. I'm going to put in my minor name. Let's say my child was born 2020. Let's say January 1st as well. So I'm going to create. Right? You continue to do the same thing. You click on create, you do the same thing. So that's what you're going to do for each of your minors. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to add only one minor just to demonstrate. Next is I'd like to also invite an adult to apply with me. So usually this is either your spouse or even your family members. It simply means that they're going to treat the application together. But then again, we've seen where some of these applications were not going in group. And another weird thing about this is the fact that once you invite an adult applicant into your pool of application, whenever you want to put in anything for them, you are unable to do it from your own end. So what you have to do is to log in to the portal using their own login details, their own login credentials. That's what you're going to use to fill in the application. So you can't edit the application from this particular interface. So it has to be from their own interface, right? So that's tricky. To invite an adult, so you click on invite an adult or applicant. What's their email address? gmail.com. Okay, and the online group application, right? How it works, feel free to read this. As soon as you're done doing this, you can just click on send invitation. It will just show that you have yourself, you have your child, your co-applicant invitation has been sent. You can resend this invitation should they not have received it. And once they receive it, they need to create their own application themselves. Once an invitation has been sent and it has been accepted by the other party. Also, do well to understand that once the other party gets the invitation, of course, the other party needs to create their own account and get to that bell button on their own application and accept that invitation. If you do not accept the invitation, you will click on your account. You're not going to see anything about the invitation. On your partner is not going to see your account populated here. Without wasting so much time, let me just scroll down here. You can see this is showing you in progress. You can remove your partner if you don't want them to be part of your application. But you can see that you are unable to do any demonstration here, right? You are unable to click on anything to update anything from this end. Let me quickly show you what the other one looks like. And so this is what it looked like now. For the one I accepted, it shows for everyone, action complete. But for your own, this is what it's showing. This is what the other account actually look like. So it's telling you, okay, you're part of a group. You can start your own application from here. You can leave the group. You still have access to your application because you're an adult. Then we can take this off. This is the main application portal we're using. This is showing me as the applicant. It's showing my child. Add to this, create more. For my partner, this is their own application. I can remove them from the group, but I'm unable to update any of the details here. I can delete any of my child information. I can even leave the group if I started myself, right? Without wasting so much time, then go ahead and click start. So this is how you start your own application. These are all the checklist requirements that you need to complete for you to be able to be done with this. Okay, tell us about yourself. In what language would you like to receive this service? I would like it in English. Do you have special needs requiring accommodation? I do not have. If you do have, please feel free to do that. UCI number, I'm just going to use random number. Have you changed your name since becoming a permanent resident? Let's say yes, if I have, then you're going to provide proof of name change. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to say no. Have you ever used any other name in the past? Let's say yes. What name did I use in the past? I'll say that was my family name, or was it my middle name? Just any name if you have changed your name before. And then my ask was the reason. You say maiden name. That was a maiden name, right? If your first name is applicable to you, please do well to add that. Then I'm just going to save that. That's that. What is my gender? I'm going to say female. Do you need to change your gender designation for your citizenship application? Nope. And what's your height? So your height might be at the cm. You can check your driver's license for this, or your in feet. So I might just use 160 for the sake of this video. My eye color, I've always used black. Have you corrected your date of birth on your immigration document or legally changed it since coming to Canada? Maybe there was a mistake in your date of birth or something. Have you changed it? If yes, please do well to say yes. If no, just say no. So I'm just going to say no for the sake of this video. Do you need to correct your date of birth for your citizenship application? No, I do not need to correct that. So I'm just going to say no. And yes, it's going to give you a prompt to say you cannot change your date of birth after you submit your application. So if you have any mistake that you intend to change, please, this is the right time to do that before putting in for your citizenship application. What place of birth were you? I'm just going to use Lagos for the sake of this video. And country, I'm just going to use my country, definitely Nigeria. And what's my marital status? Married. Then check if this page is ready. If you click on here, it will tell you that you've actually responded to every checklist there. And it's going to give you this green tick to tell you that everything within this particular section has been responded to. So contact information. So just to revalidate, your email is correct, home address. Your home address is currently now in Canada, you're not living in Canada. So search for your address. And is the mailing address the same as your home address? I'm going to say yes. Primary phone number. Please do well to pick anyone that is applicable to you. Do you have an alternate number? If you do have an alternate number, please provide that. So I'm just going to say no. Is someone helping you fill out this application? And if you have a family member that is doing that for you, right, you can say yes. And the person is just going to fill this representative form, the IMN form, to represent the client. And that can be done by outsiders if they're charging you money, or if a family member is charging you money for that. So you can say, yes, someone is helping me. Tell me about this person, family name, or the view if someone is helping you. And no if you're the one filling it yourself. And do you want to appoint a representative? Let's say you need someone to help with any communication with IRCC, should that be required? So I don't for the sake of this video, and it automatically checked this session also as complete. And now I'm going to be going to identification. So it requires your passport photo. Please, we need a recent passport photo in citizenship measurement. And for me, I have my brother-in-law. There's a photographer here, so he took us this picture. So his name is Tinna Kash. So if you're in Hamilton, you can feel free to reach out to him. You can look him up on Instagram. He uses Tino. That's STYNO, then short SHOT. You can look him up. And he traveled within the Ontario to take lovely pictures. So if you follow me very well, you see I have a lot of beautiful pictures that I don't have to pay for. Yes, another thing, you can just walk into Walmart, any of these places, Shoppers Drug Mart. You can just take your pictures there. I hear some are super expensive. So that being said, you're required to upload one. So I'm just going to upload something. I just uploaded something just to get through this. Now, what's the name of the photographer? I use Tinna Kash. And address of this photographer, and it's going to ask you when did you snap. So I'm just going to say 2025. I will say I snapped this in December because it has to be within the last 6 months, right? So you can read all the instructions here telling you the size of the passport photo and what the view, and personal identification ID. You must provide 2 pieces of ID. Your ID needs to have your name, date of birth, passport, and signature. Be valid, not expired. Please ensure you do not make mistake here. So if you have an ID, you can use your PR card as your ID if it's not expired. You can use your international passport as your ID once it's not expired. You can use your driver's license as your ID once they are not expired. The ID card must not have been expired one. A lot of us have Nigerian passport that is expired. That will not cut it because they are going to return your application for you. So it must not be expired. And that's why they actually signify that that must not be an expired ID. So you must provide two pieces of an ID. Your ID needs to have your name, blah, 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 photo, and signature. Be valid, not expired. You can use your health card as well. Exception, you can use an expired permanent resident card. So it's only PR card that is allowed if it's expired. Because my travel document is still very much valid, so I'm just going to use my Nigerian passport's biodata page that is valid. And so the option 2 will now be, you see, you can have driver's license, health card, age of majority card, citizenship, senior citizen identification card, whatever you want to use, right, as your second option. So I'm just going to see my driver's license and I'm going to add. So you can see that this page is complete. You can always validate that by seeing this green tick here. You can see I still have these other options to go. So it wants to know if in the last 5 years where have you lived in Canada or even outside Canada. It says list all addresses inside and outside of Canada during your entire 5-year eligibility period, right? So I'm just going to say within the last 5 years, that's what it means. Within the last 5 years, until now that you're eligible to apply for your citizenship, we want to know your address. Now to the past 5 years is 2020. So, and as of today, I'm shooting this content 27th of December. So you're just going to be in 2020, and I'll put December 27th. So let's say I got into Canada January 2022. So 2022 January 31. And where was I living? In my home country. I was staying in Nigeria, right? One of the things I try to encourage people to do with this is ensure you go back to your PR application, see what you imputed there. Don't go and contradict yourself. So go back, log in, and see what you imputed. Because you can't be living in Alagbado then, and now you say you're living in Ikoyi. Because a lot of us must have forgotten, right? It's been a while. So please do well to do that. So street, Bejum, City, Lagos, and I will save this address, right? I'm going to just start again another address, 2022. Okay, I'll save February 1, and I'll put this is my current address, like till date. So this was the address I used initially. So I'm just going to save. So this has saved. And it will ask you police certificates. This part has been very confusing and tricky for a lot of people. It states that in the past 4 years, were you in a country or territory other than Canada for 183 days or more in a row since the age of 18? Now, the reason why this part is very tricky is the fact that a lot of us came in and we are eligible, like let's say in the last 3 years, that's when we are eligible. But prior to that 3 years, we've stayed in our home country for more than 183 days. So let's say the last police report you did during your PR application was done in February 2022. Let's say you did it even in January 2021, and you didn't land up until February 2022, right? That period still covers you because as long as you're living from country of citizenship, it still covers you. And as long as you do not go back to Nigeria and spend 183 days. So if you went back to your home country and you spend 1 month, that's not eligible for you to say yes. Because once you say yes, you have to provide a new updated police report. So in that case, this has posed a lot of questions for people because the questions say in the last 4 years. So I've been in Canada in the last 3 years. So the remaining 1 year, what happened? There's no point. And you will just say no. That's it. But if should you want to say yes, maybe because of that, and they'll ask you provide a police certificate for each country or territory, then this is when you now impute any country you've stayed for over 183 days, right? So for the sake of this video, no. Okay, do you have SIN? Of course you do. Yes. Provide the 9 digit of your SIN. Yeah. Tell us when you filed your income taxes in the last 5 years. So did you file 2024? Mm-hmm. If you have not filed your taxes, please ensure you file all your taxes before before you come here. Did you, did you file 2023? Mm-hmm. Yes. And you need like 3 years taxes, right? Did you file 2022? Yes. Did you file 2021? You can say, no, I did not. And it will ask you, were you required to file taxes for this year? You say you were not a resident, right? So, no, I wasn't required to file taxes for this year. And 2020, I would say no, because I wasn't required to file taxes for that year. So it goes on to ask you, you should authorize them to contact CRA, blah, blah, blah. So please do well to read this. The income tax filing requirement and physical presence requirement of citizenship. So you're going to have to tell them yes. You don't want to say no because they need to make inquiry from CRA on this information, right? So the next question will now be immigration and citizenship status. Do you currently or have you ever held immigration or citizenship status in a country or territory other than Canada? This includes your birth country. You can see it's very clear, like very clear. Yes, I'm a Nigerian citizen. So from 1 year, I'm going to use 1990, the age I used on this video, and I'm going to use January because I was a citizen since date. End date, it doesn't have end date. It's not applicable to me because I'm not planning to renounce Nigeria. So it doesn't have end date. So country, it's going to be Nigerian. And status, of course, I'm a citizen of that country. So I'm just going to save. If you're a citizen of more than one country, please, you can add, right? So it has incorporated my information here. So travel document or passport. That's if I have passport in the last 5 years. This is another tricky point, especially, when one of your passports expired and the other passports have a gap before you got the second passport. It usually will not let you move forward. It will ask you to explain the gap. So you can just put in, this was the gap before I renewed my passport in the last 5 years. I've held a travel document. What it actually requires, list all of your travel documents or passport covering your 5-year eligibility. So that means from 5 years eligibility from 2020 until date. So I'm just going to say I have a passport from 2020 till, I'll say December 1. Expiry, I'm going to say it expired 2024. Yeah, December 31. This is because I want to demonstrate when you have a gap, right? Document number, let me say B00154. Then the country, this is it. And if you have any passport you renewed in Canada, you can follow the instruction. Place of issue. So I will say this was issued in Nigeria or Lagos. And do you have a biodata page for it? Of course, if you do, and you should, right? Yes, then you have to upload the biodata page for that. So I'm going to upload any image here just to move past this. So I've uploaded an image here. So I'm just going to say save documents. So it said history of travel, document or passport, explain the gap. It's asking me to explain the gap. So the next one I might say, that was 2024, I'll say February 2025. February one expiring, let's say 2028, December 31. Document number B. And country still Nigeria. Place of issue. Let's say I did this in Canada and in Ottawa. Yes, let's say I have a biodata page. So I've uploaded that. So for the gap, I'll say time required to renew. I'm going to save documents. So that's how you explain the gap, right? It has shown that this page is ready. Then I'll go to work and school activity. It can be lengthy. For work and school activities, I'm just going to come here, enter details of all your employment for the past 5 years. Just to make it easy, I'm just going to pick the last 5 years. If you have multiple jobs, you need to put it. You have to painstakingly put it. It's stressful, but you have to. So I'm just going to do this activity. I'll say 2024 December, and I was working as PM, employer is ABC Limited, country. So let me say this was Nigeria. The last work I did before coming. So I already assume I came in 2022 January. So I'll use this as 2021 December. And street address, and I'll save. So because I have to put in for the past 5 years, so I'm just going to put 2022. If you have a gap, you need to put it that you have a gap. And this is my current occupation, PM, employer, XYZ, country, Canada, and address. And I'm going to save. You can see, got it. I got it. So I can do next here. So please look well before you respond to this. Are you now serving a time of imprisonment? No. On probation? No. On parole? No. Please do it to respond to whichever is applicable to you. Are you now serving a sentence outside of Canada? An offense? Are you now charged with or trial for subject or for a party of an appeal? Nope. No. Please read it. I am not under investigation. In the past 5 years, immediately before the date of your citizenship application, were you prohibited from being granted citizenship? In the past 10 years, immediately. Please read it. Have you been convicted? Permanent residents, have you been convicted since you're a permanent resident for treason, terrorism? Been convicted outside of Canada for terrorism? Served as armed force of a country or territory or an organized group or that country or territory or group engaged in armed conflict with Canada? Please respond accordingly. By checking these boxes, I confirm I have read and understand the provisions under the Citizenship Act. Then, check them. So yes, that's it. Then we go to next. Do you have a proof of knowledge of English or French? Of course. This proof can either be your previous test of English language or test of French language that you have. It might have expired. This is acceptable, but it has to be general. And if you school in Canada, your certification, your transcript, this can also suffice. You just want to validate that you're able to communicate in either English or French. Select the proof of language that you want to submit. You can see letter from an institute, post-secondary education in English or in French, progress report card, secondary education in French. You can see for British Columbia, they have this. And you have test of English language. Is it CELPIP? Is it IELTS or French? You can see for Manitoba, for Nova Scotia, for Ontario, they have a lot that they accept, right? I'm just going to go straight to pick one test of English language on this and upload your results. Okay, so what I just did now is I uploaded my own expired test of English language. This is also because I'm not submitting this application. Next, and physical presence. That's one good thing about this enhanced application portal. For the previous portal, you need to calculate your physical presence differently, and a lot of mistake can be done that way. You might think you've entered the full physical presence you have in Canada, but no, you've not, and they'll just return your application. Right? So one of the important thing you need to know is that in the past 5 years of your eligibility period, you're trying to validate if you've stayed in Canada for up to 1,095 days. That's 3 years. And during this 5 years period, must include at least 730 days as a permanent resident, right? And for this, the interpretation is, should you be here as a student, right? Let's say you've extended your work permit or you extended your study permit. Because you've been here, you might have lived in Canada for 2, 3, 4 years. That does not automatically translate to say that you're eligible for citizenship. It simply means that out of those 2, 3 years, Canada is going to give you automatically 1 year, because each of those years you have valid as a temporary resident. It gives you half of it. It gives you 1 year towards your citizenship application. After you become a PR, you're required to stay at least 730 days, which is 2 years, right? So every year you've spent as a valid temporary worker, it is counted as 1 year. Now, if you are a refugee claimant, so those years before your hearing is not counted. Your temporary resident status start counting after your hearing. So please, it's important to understand that part. For the sake of this video, during the last 5 years of your eligibility, do you live outside of Canada as a crown servant? There are a lot of confusing questions here as well. During the 5-year eligibility period, did you live outside of Canada as a family member of a crown servant? And when did you become permanent resident? So for the sake of this video, I actually used 2022. I used January. I used 01. So I'm saving this. That was the day I became permanent resident. Automatically, it is looking like I have qualified. I'm eligible for citizenship. But there are further questions to be asked to really, really know if I'm truly eligible. During your 5-year eligibility period, did you become a valid temporary resident status before becoming a permanent resident? So this is very important if you are here as a student or a temporary worker. So you can say yes, and it will ask your temporary resident status. That's your status. So you're just going to click on add status. And temporary resident status, let's say you were here as a temporary worker or international student, whichever is applicable. So let's say you are an international student. Date you receive your status 2022, and date your status expired. Let's say my study expired as when I got my PR. So let's say it expired 2022. Did you apply to extend your status? Let's say no. If I applied, I will click here. I'll put in this information. I don't want to overcomplicate this. So if that is applicable to your situation, please, this is how you fill this information. All right. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to save this. Right. So it is showing me my temporary resident status. During your 5-year eligibility period, did you have a valid protected status before becoming a permanent resident? So this is if you were a refugee claimant, you'll say yes, you fill in your information. Was this claim approved? Yes. If your claim was approved, dates of approval. This is just to count when you were actually approved and to see when to start counting your eligibility period. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to go back and say no. I'll say no to everything. Spend time serving sentence, no. Did you leave Canada? For those of us that like traveling, if you travel to US, any neighboring country, your home country, Yes, it's going to be counted. So let's say yes, you traveled. It will now ask you to add your absence. So you're just going to click here. Let's say I went to Nigeria. Oh, it automatically picked Nigeria. And let's say I went 2025. I went June 1 and I returned the same 2025, June 14. It will ask, did you visit more than one country or no? Or only went to my home country? Reason, these are all the reasons it gives to you, like visited family member. So it has recorded that. So what you will do next is to calculate your physical presence. This will show you if you truly eligible to apply at this point for your citizenship. Very important. This. So I clicked on this. So this is what it's showing me. Congratulations! You have at least 1,095 days of physical presence in Canada during your 5 eligibility period. So it calculated my international studentship days. It calculated my permanent resident days. I have 1,004 and it's multiplying it by 1. So because I went outside Canada, it calculated I spent 12 days outside Canada. So it's less 12 days from that. And so total, I have 1,006. Should you travel to multiple countries, please feel free to add that. And you can always edit your physical presence as well. And after that, just go to next. I think it's one of the important section as well. So you're applying when you really know you're eligible. The next one is consent. Do you want to give consent for your member of parliament to have your details? If you want to give consent, yes. If you don't want, you can say no. It really do not affect your application, right? And the next one is for election. Do you want to give consent so that they can send your details? You can say no if you don't want. Which method would you like to receive your citizenship certificate? Do you want paper or do you want electronic? Rumor has it that if you pick paper, you are likely going to get a physical ceremony invitation. If you pick electronics, you are likely going to have virtual ceremony. But then again, we've seen cases of people that did the other way and they switch it. So just pick whichever you want. So if you want paper, yep. So let's do paper. And we'll go next. So this is actually telling you any other documents you would like to review, any other document you would like to add. If you have anything you like to add, please feel free to add them. Like we're literally done with this. The other option is to review and sign. You can pay fee. When you want to pay fee, this is going to be what your fee will look like because of your group. Let me go back and process for kids, then I'll come back to the fee. I'm just going to click on back. I've completed this. It asks me to continue. If I want to continue, it's in progress. For my daughter or my child or whatever, I've not started. And for my partner, this is their own. I'm not going to do this, but it is important, whenever you want to complete that of your partner, you have to go to their own login details. You can only view that you have someone in the group, but you can't do anything from here. So don't forget this. Only that of your child. So I'm just going to click on this. That of the child is not so much, right? There are not so much information. So I'm just going to quickly go over it, except if there are any key thing that we need to know. So you say English. Do they require accommodation? No. This is applying on behalf of the minor, the parents, the family name of the person applying on behalf of the minor. Is the minor legally adopted? No. Does the minor have UCI number? Of course, they have UCI number, so put it. Same information, the minor's name. Has this minor changed name before? Have they ever used any other name? Let's say the minor is female. Do they want to change their gender? No. What's their TM? I'll just put this. What's their eye color? I'm going to put black. Minor's date of birth. Has minor date of birth been corrected? No. Everything is intact. Do they need to correct their date of birth? No. Minor's place of birth, Lagos. country, Nigeria. Minor's marital status, single. And check if he's ready. Contact information, home address, his minor address. Yes, this is similar to their mailing address. And their phone number is a cellular. Someone helping with minor application, helping you, the parent. So it's not like literally for the minor itself, but helping you, the parent. That is someone helping you, parent or guardian, fill this application. So no, I'm filling it myself. Would you want anyone to contact IRCC on your behalf? You can say no. And that part is filled. So the next is they need your parent information. So parent one, maybe you or your partner, whoever comes first. Biological. So did I change my name in the past? Yes. And that was because that's my maiden name and I saved. Parent date of birth. Will this parent be submitting their own application for Canadian citizenship together with this minor? Yes. If you've already submitted, you can confirm that. Before February 1577, will this parent leave Canada for more than 1 year? This is not even applicable to anyone. Like, did you stay, were you adopted by parents that were conservants? No. The minor's grandparent, are they conservants? No. When this parent was born or adopted, was one of their parents or grandparents a Canadian citizen? No, except it is applicable to you anyway. So for parent two, can you provide information about minor second parent? Yes, I can. And is the biological parent? Did the parent use other names? So I'll say no. Place of birth, the same thing, Nigerian. Yes, I think I'll use 1980, January 01. Yes, the parent will be submitting application with minor. If that's not the case, answer. Or grandparents, Canadian as a conservant. Please do well to read them. Will you adopted? But this is actually not applicable to anyone right now, except if it's applicable to you. So, photo and identification. So I'm just going to click on photo and identification. I'll just upload any photo just for the sake of this video. So photographer, still no shots, yes. An address is in Canada. Streets, green makeup. Okay. And what date was this taken? 2025, December 15th. Okay, birth certificate or adoption order. So I have birth certificates. Okay, I'm just going to upload something right now. So for the second ID, about data page, if they have valid or their PR card. So whichever one that you have, just pick it. You need two IDs, similar as that of the parents. So for this, I'm going to put the PR card. So the second ID, check that it has confirmed. So residency, same as that of the parents. For the past 5 years, you want to establish residency also for the kids. So minors, immigration and citizenship status. When the minor became a permanent resident, let's say 2022, January, same day as that of parents. Does the minor currently or have they ever held immigration and citizenship status or territory other than Canada? Yes. So this minor, I claim, was born 2020, January 1. And what's the end date? So it doesn't have end date, so we're not planning to renounce this country. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to use Nigeria. And what's their status? Citizen. So I'm just going to save. Right. Has this minor been outside of Canada? Let's say no. They've not been in the last 5 years. Their travel document, have they held a travel document? I'll say yes. And This travel document, right, is in the last 5 years. So, and you know, the minor was given birth to 2020 January 1. So, exactly like the last 5 years. 2020. When is it expiring? So, I'm just going to extend this date. I'm going to use December 31. So, document number, what country? Nigeria. Place of issue, Lagos. Do you have biodata page? Yes, I do. Please do well to upload your biodata page. So I'm done with this. Then I'll come to prohibition. Because I've done this for the parent, I'm just going to check no for everything, just to ensure that this is as fast as I can. I didn't envisage I'm going to spend so much time explaining like this, but it is what it is. And please read it carefully. If your case yes is applicable, please feel free to do that. And I'm just going to check this box that I confirm that I've read and understood the prohibition under the Citizenship Act. And consent. Do I give consent? No, I don't want. For now, don't. And I picked paper. Same with optional, right? I don't have anything for optional, so I'm just going to leave it that way. And one important thing that you need to note is, should you be the one paying for everyone within your group, you need to click on this pay part of it and let them check that someone else is paying for you. It's very important. So I'm just going to come to my minor pay column, and this is what is showing. Is the minor the one paying? So you're going to say, who are you paying for? So I'm paying for at least one person. No, it's not the minor that is paying. So I'm not paying for anyone, including myself. Someone else will pay for me. So this is what you click for your minor. That is the same thing you're going to click for your partner, so that you will be the one to pay for everybody. But should you want like your spouse to pay for themselves, then you have to click that and make their payment themselves. Other than that, this is like an easy way for family to do that together. And lastly, you're going to come to review and sign for your minor. And click on review and sign. You can see everything is ready. You can do sign application. It will read a lot of things for you. You click your family name. So what city am I signing? Then I sign. Your application was signed successfully. So it's showing me that my child is ready within the group. You can see there's a tick line, and I can download everything I've completed. Me, the parent, I'm still in progress, and my spouse is still in progress. So I'm able to see every of this. Then I'll go back, and you can see this is showing that I've signed this. I can still delete this. I can recreate. If I know I've made a mistake, I can change a lot of things. So I'll come back here, click on continue. For payments, I'm going to say I'm the one paying for. I am paying for at least one person, right? So it will redirect you to where you're going to make the payment. And as soon as you make the payment, you come here and add the file. So to make the payment, click on pay the application fee online. So this will direct you here to pay your application fee. So pay your fee, you're just going to click on select your application type, citizenship. So you click on continue. It's going to give you checklist like this. You're an adult, 18 and above. So how many adults are you paying for? Only you, or you and your partner? So you and your partner, 2, you're going to put in 2. If you're paying for only yourself, you put in 1. The quantity, that's 1. And this is the amount. You're paying for minor, you're paying for just 1 minor. If you have 4 minor, you're paying for 4 minor. So for the sake of this video, we have 1 minor. And when you come here, you click on submit. So it's going to give you the total for the application. So the total for the application shows 2 adults paying this amount and 1 minor paying this amount. Total 1,399.50. So these are the options. If you want to make changes, you can still go back and make changes. If you want to pay it takes you to a different portal entirely. So you can either create accounts on this portal using the same information for your citizenship, or just use a different information entirely. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to go to login and pay. Log me here. This is a different account. You can see eService.ci. So most likely you don't have an account here. So come here and say you want to create an account. So if you are a new client, please register. So please, let's register. I'm assuming for the sake of this video, we do not have an account. So I'm just going to click on register, the email. I'll use the same email that I used for this demonstration. And I'm going to do continue. And it requires me to enter a code. I'm just going to input the code and this. Thank you for verifying. I'll continue. So now that I've clicked on continue, you can see it's asking me to log out, manage accounts, view my receipt. So I'm just going to say I am human. And I'll go to confirm payments. Then it's going to give you a whole lot of disclaimer. Refund most application fee for processing your application only. Once processing starts, you will not be eligible for a refund. Please do well to read all this. So I'm just going to check that I read and I understood. Then proceed to secure checkout. This is where you're going to use your card to pay. Then you put in your email address, your card details, you check out, and it's going to pay you and it will give you a receipt. So that's the receipt you're going to upload here. So I'm just going to come here and upload my receipts. So I just uploaded any documents. Who is the receipt for? So I checked everyone. Don't forget that I have everyone on my application. You do not be paying for your partner. You can just uncheck them here. So the receipt for payment is just for you and your child. But should it be for everyone, right? You do this and you save. So it automatically works for everyone. And don't forget that when you go to your partner, also check that someone else is paying for them, like that of your child. Then come here. You also check everything, review, sign, and come back here. So for the sake of this video, I've signed for this too. Because I've not completed this, I'm not able to submit, right? So I need to now log in into my spouse portal, complete their own information, and sign. So once I sign, it's going to now give me the opportunity to be able to submit. So once everyone within the application have already completed the application, that's for you, your child, your spouse, you're going to now get this. It will ask you to submit this application, right? So at this point, you're going to click on submit, and I need to give you this pop-up to tell you that submitting is not your AOR, which is acknowledgement of receipt, because they're going to go over your application to review it before acknowledging that, yes, they've received it, is complete, they can now work on it. These days, it takes as long as 2 months, 3 months, even before you get your acknowledgement that they've received your application. And guess what? Once there's any mistake in what you've submitted, they're just going to return it back to you to update those mistakes. And then your acknowledgement will start reading again another 2 or 3 months before they acknowledge that. So on this note, I'll say be very careful when you're putting in your application. You don't want to make mistakes, and you don't want to make mistakes. So you want to ensure that everything, check all the requirements so that they won't have to return your application after 3 months of submission, just for you to start back from the queue all over. Yes, we all know that I do not submit application because these are for illustration purpose only. And should you have any question, please drop your questions in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to support you based on my own understanding and my own knowledge about the process. I believe at this point you find this content very valuable. It has been able to bring clarity to most of the great areas you have or all the questions you might have. Thank you so much for watching this far. Thank you so much for watching this far. And as I always, please Do not forget to like, to share, to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that Tinna Kash has something very valuable out here on YouTube, where you can be able to do your different Canada application yourself. And thank you so much for watching this far. Do have a wonderful day. Bye. Compliment of the season. Thank you. Bye.